So it is. Love Howard Thurman. Thank you for that, Lava. Beautiful meditation. The music was just so soothing, and your voice. Oh my goodness, girl.
Oh, wow.
Whew. Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
can we give Lava some love? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Lava. So, welcome everyone again to Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. I hope you, by now, you feel welcome. By now, I hope that you feel at home here. So, I want to start just by mentioning some cultural and heritage observances that are happening in the month of May. So, this month, the Asian American and Pacific Islanders, Haitians, Indians, Jewish, and South Asian peoples are all celebrating their heritage this month. So I just want us to send some love and light to our siblings for the richness of their culture and for the richness of their heritage. Yes, 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 yes. And that's when we do, we acknowledge each other, we acknowledge each other's presence, we acknowledge the contributions that our cultures have made to this pot that we call the United States of America and beyond. So we are experiencing our annual theme, which is rooted in oneness, living as principle. And so, May, we are going to experience that theme through the theme of authentic voice. And we're following the May topic and theme that CSL is doing this month. So, this month, we are rooting ourselves in the universal principle of the law of vibration, the law of vibration, because our voice is a vibration. When we speak, we are emitting a vibration. When we think, we are emitting a vibration. When we act, we are emitting a vibration. When we stand still or think we are emitting vibration. So let us be tuned in to what that vibration is this month. And so part of the way that we will do that is through a spiritual practice. And our spiritual practice this month is speaking truth to power. Speaking truth to power. And that does not mean, a lot of times when I hear that term, what comes up for me is hitting somebody over the head with what you believe to be the truth, right? But that's not what it is. It's about speaking the truth of who we are as divine beings and seeing that in the other, right? Speaking truth to power is a namaste, it's a smile, it's being kind, right? It's using your words kindly, but truthfully. So that's what we get to practice this month. So our message today is Confidence Unleashed, the art of self-advocacy. So I looked up the word authentic, and it comes from a Latin word and a Greek word that means one who does things oneself. And it also means original. Original. So your authentic voice is an original vibration. There is no other voice in the universe like your voice. It is unique. It is an original. So, how can we use our authentic voice to advocate for ourselves and others with confidence? So, I want to illustrate this through a story. And this happened this week, and I have the person's permission to share this story. And it was perfect timing that this happened this week. And I told her that, and I told her that the synchronicity of what occurred is the perfect demonstration of being in our authentic voice and stepping into the opportunity to unleash our confidence. So, this is what happened. So, most of you know that another component of my ministry of joy is spiritual life coaching. And this year, I started doing group spiritual life coaching, thanks to the encouragement of Fee King. And that's how we get to be in community, right? By supporting and encouraging each other. So I started doing spiritual life coaching as a group, and we have an amazing group of divine humans who are sharing their path with each other. And I am so blessed to be their guide. So at our session this week, someone was sharing a challenge they were having. And so other people in the group were sharing suggestions with the person and exploring things that they could try to overcome the challenge. So during this exchange, I kept hearing like a distorted sound through someone's Zoom. And so I asked the person to mute themselves. So a few minutes later, the person that I asked to mute disappeared. I didn't see her on the screen. She had turned off her video. So I kind of I figured that maybe the connection was really bad. Maybe, she's being disconnected and coming back in. But, I didn't really think too much of it. I was just hoping that whatever her Zoom issues or connectivity issues were, they would be resolved and she can continue with us for that session. So we kept it moving. The next day, I received an email from this person that I asked to mute. And like I said, she gave me permission to share this. But I want you to put yourself in her shoes just for a moment and see if you see yourself in this situation. So this was her email. She says, I want to apologize for cross-talking at class the other night. She was speaking and we were trying to help her figure out what she could do. I was about to make a suggestion, but I couldn't because you asked me to mute myself. I felt very ashamed of myself, not realizing that I was interrupting, as much as feeling excited to share that I listened to sip when I walk. My ego got wounded, and then I spiraled back to my childhood when I really needed to talk to my mother. But I was told if I didn't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. She wrote, you didn't say that, of course, but this is what came up for her, right? So that's the story behind me walking away from the phone during class, she shares. I felt too ashamed for speaking out of turn. So after I read this email, and I read it a couple of times, because I was like, first I was like, what? what are you talking about? What? Right? And I had to think back to that day, and it was just yesterday. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, let me call her. So I called her right away because I wanted to get some clarity, right? And this is a demonstration of everybody could be in the same place, listening to the same things, and have a totally different experience, right? And we'll get to why that is in a moment. So I called her right away to get clarity because what she perceived was not reality. It was not reality. I explained to her that I could hear, and the only thing I could hear was a distorted sound because of the connection. And that was the reason why I asked her to mute. But something else happened for her in that situation. She said her ego got wounded and she spiraled back to her childhood at times when she really needed to talk to her mother and couldn't, because she was conditioned not to say anything if she didn't have anything nice to say. So here we are, present time. And she is way back when she was a little girl, spiraling, right? Many of us, I know I was taught that you speak when you are spoken to. Was that just my household? Okay, all right. You keep the peace, you don't rock the boat, and you do whatever it is that you need to do to fit in, right? Don't cause no scenes by opening up your mouth and saying anything. So these learned silences are barriers that dim our light, and they can crush our confidence and our courage. But the truth will always find a way. The truth will always find a way. It doesn't matter if it takes 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, it doesn't matter. Truth will always find a way because the universe wants to express through us, because her voice is an original vibration. So this past hurt kept her from speaking her truth, and it kept her from expressing her authentic voice. And it was up for her now to heal. What happened was not a coincidence, was not an accident. It was an opportunity for her to heal. And it was an opportunity for her to unleash her confidence by owning her voice. I imagine that throughout her life, she's had experiences of her voice being distorted by people not understanding what she is saying, not understanding her heart. And so now we got this technology called Zoom, because everything is a resource. Everything is a resource. And so Zoom is playing its part by creating this distortion that triggered this feeling of being unheard, that spiraled her back. But what did she do? What did she do? She said her ego got wounded. But what did she do? She wrote me an email. She wrote me an email. And she wrote that email from the essence of who she is, not from her ego. She wrote it from the essence of who she is. So there's a difference between asserting our voice from our ego and asserting our voice from the essence of who we are. Because the ego always seeks to be right, but essence seeks to be real. The ego speaks to be heard, but the essence speaks to be known. All of us want to be known. The ego reacts, but the essence responds from grounded awareness. Essence is authentic. So guess what her qualities are for this year? So many of you are participating in my qualities of the year, where we commit to a quality that we want to embody more fully. One of her qualities for this year is bravery. Bravery. It was brave for her to write that email to me. It took courage and the willingness to be vulnerable, to share her truth of the experience that she experienced. No one else experienced that experience, She experienced it, and her experience is valid. All of our experiences are valid. This was her writing, this email was an act of self-advocacy. The essence of who she is guided and supported her. It all came from within her. Yes, a part of her may have been feeling like a little girl without any power, but the essence of who she is knows the truth of who she is, and took, I was going to say pen to paper, but took fingertips to the keyboard and wrote that email. So she advocated for herself by not abandoning her voice. How many times do we abandon our voice when we know there is something that is ours to speak, and yet we abandon it? We mute ourselves. The world that we are living in today is a demonstration of so many muting their voice, distorting the truth. But authenticity always rises when we are willing to tap into the confidence and unleash it fully with the power of God and the universe and all that is good. We don't do our healing work alone. There is a whole universe supporting us. Do we recognize all of the things that had to happen in order for that to happen for her? All of the things. And I'm not just talking about on that day. I'm talking about from the time that we took our first breath. And here she is. And here I am. And here we are. And yet, she was spiraling. And yet, she embodied bravery, the quality that she chose and the quality that chose her, to support her in her authentic voice. So Ernest Holmes has a prayer in the Science of Mind text. And I'm going to share just a little bit of it. The prayer is called Holy, Holy, Holy. And if you want to look for it later, it's on page 365. He writes, inner love that gives so freely, inner power that holds securely, inner eye that sees so clearly, inner ear that hears God always, inner voice that speaks supremely, inner good that binds me to thee, holy, 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 Lord God within me. That line, that inner voice that speaks supremely, she was speaking through her writing supremely the truth, her truth. And our authentic voice is the God within you that speaks supremely. Supremely. Ernest also references Jesus in the Science of Mind text. And he says, the external Jesus gave way to the divine. The human took on the Christ spirit and became the voice of God to humanity. And yet it would be a grave mistake to suppose that he was different from any other person. He was a man who knew himself and his direct relationship to the whole. This was the secret of his success. To think of Jesus as being different from other people, to think of Jesus as being different from you, is to misunderstand your mission and your purpose. He was a way shower and proved his way to be a correct one. His method was direct, dynamic, and powerful, yet extremely easy and simple to comprehend. He believed in God in himself as power and reality. Believing in God within, he was compelled to believe in himself. Believing in the God within her, she was compelled to write that email. She was compelled to step into the mission of her life through the essence of the bravery and the courage that she was willing to unleash in that moment as a demonstration of the power of self-advocacy. Because you understand, when she was a child, it was difficult. Like with most of us, it's difficult as children to advocate for ourselves. But that desire doesn't go away. It just gets muted until divine right order shows up, distorts Zoom, and creates an opportunity for her authentic voice to be heard. So, like Jesus, we are the voice of humanity. Be compelled to believe in yourself, the God in, through, and as you. Are you compelled? Are you compelled to believe in yourself? Are you willing to speak from essence and not ego? Are you compelled to unmute your voice and speak with the authority of the one who has the confidence in knowing the truth of who and whose they are? Are you willing to give voice to love, or are you giving voice to fear? Are you compelled to confidently unleash the authenticity of your mission and purpose in this life now by speaking truth to power? Ernest said we must continually remind ourselves of the power of the word and our ability to use it. The Bible puts it this way: in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was our Word. The God in me, the God in her. And so we get to authentically express our voice, because there is no other voice like mine. There's no other voice like hers. There's no other voice like yours. We are originals. And I know that the same word that was within Jesus is within each and every one of us. The word is with you as well, because God as you, God in you, God through you is the word. Your voice is a channel for the infinite. When you speak from your authentic self, you are not sharing thoughts, you are expressing the divine that you are. Your voice is not separate from your spiritual nature. It is an extension of it. Speaking authentically is a way of aligning with principle. So say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it. Put some in it. Yes. Be your authentic self. Remember that you are an original. No other. Can you just imagine? There's no other vibration like you. Oh my goodness, that just makes me so happy. No other vibration like you. So, what do you have to say? What do you have to say, possibly to that little girl, that little boy, that little one within you that was muted? But now, standing in the essence of who you are, you speak truth to power. It is your divine right. So we are living in a world where noise often drowns out the truth, and fear can mute us and keep us feeling small. But know this, and I keep saying this, and I will continue to say it. We are the 1 in 10. We know. Act like we know. Speak like we know, because we know. We are divine beings with voices that matter. Your authentic voice is a force for collective transformation. We are one. Each of us transform, the collective transforms. So when you speak your authentic voice, grounded in love and truth, you create ripples of transformation. I love the visual of that. You remind others that they can speak too. Because that's the gift that she has given us. I can speak to my truth. I can heal too. You model what it looks like to live aligned with spirit. Your voice may be the missing piece in someone else's healing. So it may be the key to unlocking greater connection in your relationships, in your community, and in the world. Your authentic voice is the voice of God. Your hands are the hands of God. Your feet are the feet of God. Your whole body is the body of God. So the voice of peace, the voice of justice, the voice of truth, the voice of love, the voice of oneness is your voice. It's your voice. And it is authentic and it is original. So confidently unleash the inner voice that speaks supremely as you. And I know you're here talking to. You're here. But how long are you going to act like you don't hear it? Now is the time to wake up and be aware and to speak it and to speak it. So we're going to get some practice this month. Here's your love work. Because speaking up is more than a communication skill. It's a spiritual practice. It's how we honor the divine spark within us. It's how we embody our wholeness and help shape a world that is rooted in justice and oneness and love and peace and truth and joy and harmony and all the things that we speak about. So one, here's a journal prompt for you. What are the beliefs, fears, or patterns that have muted you? What are the beliefs, fears, or patterns that have muted you? It's time to name them, not to dwell on it, but to name it so you can dissolve it and heal it in the light of truth. What are the beliefs, fears, or patterns that have muted you? name it, dissolve it in the light of truth. And here's the second one. Practice confidence unleashed. So how are you going to do this? In the group spiritual life coaching on this past Wednesday, we all became our own hype person, right? We wrote a poem that hyped us up, and it was all about ourselves. And so the work is to say that poem every single day, to be your own hype person. That's how we unleash our greatness. And we could hear our own authentic voice speaking it to us. So that's the invitation for you to write a poem. It does not have to rhyme. You don't even have to call it a poem if that's triggering for you. But write as your own hype person. You can embody Flavor Flav, embody Flavor Flav, right? Come with that energy. Be your own hype person. And you're going to say it every single day, looking yourself in the mirror. So those are your two things for this month. Your journal prompt. What are the beliefs, fears, or patterns that you have muted? Name them. Don't dwell on it. Dissolve it in the light of truth. And then we're going to practice confidence unleashed by being our own hype person. Everybody got that? All right. All right. So I am excited. I am excited for this month. And if anything comes up for folks that you need support in, please reach out. We are in community. We are in community. So let us do that for each other. Please reach out. So I want to close with the full prayer from Ernest Holmes. So let's just take a moment and go within. You can close your eyes and just take a couple of deep breaths and center yourself in the fierceness that you are, in the holiness that you are. Holy, 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 inner presence great and mighty, inner light that shines divinely, inner life that lives completely, inner joy that smiles serenely, inner peace that flows so deeply, inner calm, untroubled, happy, inner love that gives so freely, inner power that holds securely, inner eye that sees so clearly, inner ear that hears God always, inner voice that speaks supremely, inner good that binds me to thee. Holy, 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 Lord God within me. And so it is, and so it is. Amen.